Hi everyone, it's Andrew again for another bench update, and there's quite a lot going on the bench at the moment. Candy, but that's probably not too relevant right now, but there's a few bits and bobs that have been going on this week. Obviously the first thing, and we'll come to that in a second, is the B16. It's had some paint, it's had some camouflage paint, but before we get to that, I've also been working on a little Hurricane, Hawker Hurricane from World War II, 72nd scale, which I bought for my kids to get involved with, which needless to say they didn't. Not too much. My daughter showed quite a lot of interest, so she's built most of it, and I'm in the process of finishing that, so the next time I see her, she's 10, the next time I see her it'll be done with a little diorama and everything. So that's coming along in bits and pieces, a little bit at a time. It's amazing how you forget stuff that you used to be able to do. They're tiny compared to working on even the WPL, the little 1/72nd scale. Is what it is. They're tiny, absolutely tiny. Anyhow, so that's one thing. Secondly, and it's always a good day when Boomracing stuff arrives, right? I have ordered some of the 155 beadlock rims, the BRW, the classic Steely reversible 16 hole for the LC70. I think you'd normally see these on, but they are to go with my 155 tyres, which I've also acquired, and these are the Wrangler Goodyear Duratrac from RC4WD, and you can see the 155 sitting in there. It's not mounted perhaps as well as it could be. It was done in a bit of a rush, so that's what these are. They're new X2 S3 compound, part number ZT0177 or ZT0177 if you're in the UK. Now what are these for? Well, these are for the Hummer. Okay, I haven't forgotten about the Hummer. No, that's next after this. The problem with the Hummer wheels, they're 1.9s. The tyres are good, and they are quite a scale tread pattern. I didn't really have a problem with the tyres. I was happy to use the tyres. But the more I looked at the rims, the more I wondered what the problem was in my head that I was seeing. In the end, I've looked at photos of real Hummer wheels, and the 1.9s with the 100mm tyre just wasn't giving me the balloon effect that the real thing appears to have. So I figured I'd go 155s, join the real club, join the real crawler club, and go for a fairly big tyre. So this is like a 104, I think. It's got a dual stage foam inside as well from RC4WD, so because the Hummer's heavy. So anyway, that's what this is. These are going to be the Hummer tyres. And they're not entirely accurate rims, obviously. They're as close as I could get in 155s without paying £100 a pair, because they do some Hummer copy military wheels, but they're stupid money. So these are as close as I could get, and I might reverse them for the pimp look now and again. We never know. Anyway, so that's another exciting thing. The Hummer is drawing close, I promise. And so to the B16 now. Let me put these away somewhere. Where to put them? I'll put them there. So this is also obviously Hummer related, because as I said to you, the paint I'm going to do on this last episode, the paint for this is pretty much the paint that's going to be on the Hummer. I am going to be using the fancy AK International real colour acrylics, but these are tiny and don't, the Hummer's huge, so I needed to know what other cheaper paints I could use as a base coat, and these Revell matte enamels look as if they're going to do the job beautifully. So it's a 3-tone NATO camouflage. I don't want to move this too much because the wheels will fall off. The wheels will fall off my wagon. Yeah, so I don't want to. So what was I saying? Yes. So it's going to be a 3-tone NATO camouflage, which is basically a medium green with a brown tannish, as you can see, and a dark, almost black, but a very dark green, which you can see this shade here. So this is my attempt at freehand airbrushing. So I used my cheap Amazon airbrush, and 2 of them in fact, to try and recreate, make your mind up, and I think it's come out okay. I mean, I'm quite happy with it. I mean, I haven't done a proper airbrush job for many years, so I was quite relieved, frankly, that it's presentable. I was expecting to give you a single colour truck still. You know what? I've decided to go with solid green. But you know, I'm quite happy with it in the end. It looks reasonably authentic. I did look at some photographs before. It's not an actual camouflage pattern. They do have such things. You can download the plans of where exactly they have to, you know, paint which colour. And none of that. It's I've made it up as I went along. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. You know, it's come out pretty good. I'll show you the other side of the there's the other side of the tanker. Remember, it only has the hose on one side, hence the wheels and stuff. There's no hose on the other side. So yeah, that's it's looking pretty good. I'm really pleased with how it's coming together. The cab's not sitting quite where it should be. It's not in the bumper. And the back's a bit too low. It'll be jacked up a bit in the end. So what have I got to do? I've got to do the glazing. Oh, I'll show you the insides as well. I've got to do the glazing, and I've got to do the exhaust, which isn't going to be at the back. The exhaust on these models was coming up through the. I think I'll use the other one. Here it is, because it's hollow on the inside, which is a bit lame. So I'll have to use the right size, the right side. So I'm going to drill a hole through the mudguard and have it coming up through there alongside the bonnet. So it's going to, you know, kind of sit like that. That's got to be done. And the glazing and the interior. So the interior is a fairly simple matter. I've done just used the standard interior for the B16. I've painted it green and a kind of lighter green. I've taken one of my son's not used plastic soldiers and butchered him accordingly. He has no feet, and one of his legs has had a terrible accident, which we don't talk about. He's had a coat of paint just so that he's not so horribly garish and nasty. I'm going to do a wash on this, so I'm going to try and pick out his face a little bit more. He looks a bit weird at the moment. But anyway, so that's got to go in. That's going to sit in there very nicely, I hope. It was a bit of a struggle getting him not to poke a hole in the top there, so I've had to cut the seat. My usual remedy is to cut the seat. It's easier than cutting lumps off the bottom of the figure, I find. Just cut the seat so the backside drops into the seat, and you end up with him sitting butterfingers sitting in a more appropriate height. So yeah, that's just a fairly basic interior. I'm going to put a seat belt. Well, maybe I won't. I mean, they probably didn't wear a seat belt. He really is crying out for a can of beer, isn't he? I think he really needs a can of beer in that hand. But obviously that wouldn't work in the Marines. So yeah, and after that, it's really going to be washing it down, dirtying it, blending it, and accessorizing it. So as I said last time, but I don't think I could show you them because I don't think I could find them. But you'll be glad to know not much has changed in that regard. Okay, well that's the second time I've been found lacking for organisation. Oh, hang on. No, look. Stone the crows, I've found them just in time. Look, my official WPL scale accessory set. It's a little bit of a shake and bake, this one. But in here are all manner. There's a bucket for starters. We've got to have a bucket hanging about on this thing, haven't we? There's fuel cans, there's hand tools, there's a ladder, there's all manner of interesting. I mean, some fairly big looking spades and things, but anyway, some of this might be of dubious scale, but jerry cans and the like. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack it all in here. I'm going to have some camouflage netting and stuff wedged in to hide the see-throughness of what's underneath, because you know it's fairly kind of see-through in there. Anyway, so there you go. That was it. I've no idea how long that was. It's a bit of a late one. This a bit impromptu because I'm tired. It's been a busy day and I'm late getting to this bench video. So it's a bit of a one-take wonder. I do apologise if it's rambled on a little bit. So yes, there you go, guys. So that's it. It's a bit impromptu. Apologise for that. A little bit unplanned, but that's what's on my bench. See you next week for more. Bye. Oh, here I am. There you go. You know, there's stuff everywhere. There's RC stuff everywhere. It's crazy. I don't know how. I mean, I'm going to have a tidy up. I'm going to have another tidy up. Crazy days. This hobby is out of control. Out of control.